FTX crypto exchange owes its biggest creditors $3.1 billion, the company has said. It also asked the court for permission to pay up to $17.5 million to vendors. In addition, FTX has credible evidence that it moved assets to the custody of the Bahamian government. FTX crypto exchange is one of the most prominent blowups in the crypto world, and its collapse has left the estimated 1 million clients with losses in the billions of dollars. FTX filed for bankruptcy protection in Delaware last month, and is preparing to sell and reorganize some of its businesses. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission and Commodity Futures Trading Commission are investigating the situation. FTX has been in touch with the U.S. Attorney's Office. The top 50 creditors of FTX, who are owed more than $3 billion, include customers. The biggest creditor, a single person, owes a staggering $226 million. There are 8 other creditors who each owe more than $100 million. FTX was once the world's third largest crypto exchange, but the company was hit with a liquidity crisis. FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried announced his resignation on November 11, saying that he had failed to recover from the liquidity crisis. His former company was valued at almost $32 billion. The exchange was one of about 101 affiliated firms. The company said it had launched a strategic review of its global assets and is prepared to sell or restructure parts of its business. It is working with dozens of regulatory agencies and has communicated with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. The company has also requested authorization to pay its pre-petition claims, which it said would leave its businesses irreparably damaged if they were not granted. A federal judge will hear FTX's first-day motions on Tuesday. The bankruptcy judge will also oversee a creditors committee to protect FTX creditors' rights and vote on the repayment plan. Bankman-Fried, who has been accused of flagrant mismanagement, personally received a huge amount of money from one of the funding rounds, which took place in October 2021. The Wall Street Journal reported that he cashed in a massive amount of money, from $420 million raised in the round. Bankman-Fried, who is currently convicted of fraud, has expressed disdain for financial regulators. The court filing did not name the top 10 creditors, but all of the largest claims are made by customers. The company's assets are estimated to be worth about $32 billion, but the amount of funds it has may be a fraction of what it has put in. FTX, a crypto exchange that was operated by Sam Bankman-Fried, was forced into bankruptcy court protection in the U.S. The company owes 50 of the largest creditors almost $3 billion. It is believed that the bankruptcy will affect 1 million customers. Bankruptcy proceedings typically take a couple of years. However, the FTX case is seen as a domino effect, with other digital assets exchanges under attack as well. The Financial Services Agency in Japan has checked with local digital assets exchanges to see how the FTX debacle affects the market. As part of its bankruptcy proceedings, the FTX Group has been in touch with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. In addition, the FTX Group has also been in touch with the U.S. Attorney's Office. FTX's filing also revealed a series of unprofessional accounting practices. Aside from this, the filing also highlighted a complete lack of dependable corporate records and unconventional leadership style of the company's CEO. The company has requested that the bankruptcy proceedings be transferred to the Bahamas. This is in part to ensure that the interests of creditors are protected. The Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, is also investigating the exchange. According to FTX's filing, the SEC has begun an investigation of the exchange for violations of U.S. securities law. The SEC may also take action against the exchange for fraud. In addition to the SEC investigation, Binance is also under scrutiny by the CFTC for alleged mishandling of customer funds. The company is also under investigation by the Bahamian government for its involvement in the FTX debacle. The filing also claims that the government of the Bahamas directed unauthorized access to the company's assets after the company filed for bankruptcy. The FTX filing also includes verified texts from former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried. It also cites evidence of hacking by the Bahamian government. According to the filing, the SEC has already contacted the exchange's lawyers and has asked for a closer look at the documents. The SEC believes that some of the exchange's assets qualify as securities and may be subject to registration. In addition, the SEC is investigating whether FTX has violated the law by failing to register assets. FTX crypto exchange filed for bankruptcy protection earlier this month, leaving its estimated 1 million customers with losses in the billions. The company is also seeking to sell or restructure some of its businesses. FTX was valued at more than $32 billion before it filed for Chapter 15 bankruptcy protection in Delaware. The company was also the subject of an investigation by the Department of Justice, the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Bahamian authorities. These agencies are investigating whether FTX's chief executive, Mark Bankman-Fried, engaged in criminal misconduct. The bankruptcy process is likely to reveal some interesting details about the exchange. Aside from the fact that FTX has more than $3 billion in debt, the process may also reveal that the company is owed more than $1 billion by its customers. However, this does not include debt owed by insiders. FTX was not able to keep track of customer data. It also did not have the time to put together a solid document detailing its debtors and creditors. In addition, FTX may have missed payments to creditors. The company did not include payments it made to creditors in its accounting, and it may have paid creditors before it actually redeemed their capital. The FTX bankruptcy process was not the first to reveal a lot of information about the exchange, but it did make a bold claim that the exchange had more than 1 million creditors. However, the company failed to mention which of those creditors was the largest. It also failed to mention that the FTX crypto exchange owes more than $3 billion to its creditors. The FTX crypto exchange may have filed for bankruptcy protection earlier this month, but the company still owes more than $3 billion to its creditors. The company's top 10 creditors have more than $1.45 billion combined, but the company's top 50 creditors are owed nearly $3 billion, according to court documents. The FTX crypto exchange owes more than $3 billion to its creditors, but the company did not mention which of those creditors was the largest. FTX also did not mention that the company owes more than 1 million creditors. FTX, one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world, has filed for bankruptcy in the US on November 11, 2018. The company owes close to $3.1 billion to its 50 largest creditors. The firm says its business would suffer irreparable damage without a judicial remedy. It has also filed for a declaration of relief to facilitate a new cash management system. The company, which owes approximately $1 million in back pay, has not been able to pay its employees. In addition, a Wall Street Journal report said the United States Department of Justice is investigating FTX's handling of customer funds. The bankruptcy filing has cast doubts over the future of the crypto industry. Critics say the collapse of FTX exposes a fundamental flaw in the digital currency market. FTX built its business on a risky trade. Investors borrowed money to make large bets on the future value of cryptocurrencies. FTX's affiliates left behind billions of dollars in losses. After the bankruptcy filing, FTX said it would begin a strategic review of its global assets. It will also look into recapitalizations and possible sales of some units. But FTX has not set a timeline for reorganization. As of November 16, FTX had only identified 216 debtor bank accounts with positive balances. Depending on how much customers drained from their accounts, the size of the hole in FTX's balance sheet could be as large as $8 billion. The company has been unable to identify employees on its payroll. It has also purchased Bahamas real estate for its staff using company funds. Some investors and creditors say the collapse of FTX has cast doubt over the entire crypto industry. The House Financial Services Committee plans to hold a hearing on the company next month. FTX has also pledged to donate $200,000 to the University of California, Berkeley, to help underrepresented student groups. The company has also invested heavily in sports sponsorships. It has deals with 4 professional sports teams. It was the official cryptocurrency exchange partner of Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One team. In March 2021, the Miami Heat sold its naming rights to FTX.